Hi there, and welcome back to another episode. So the first reading is Poirot and Watson, and it focuses on historical tourism and the profit it brings in. So it adds an estimated $192 billion to the economy each year. And one of the cities mentioned is Charleston, which brings in over $3 billion per year from tourism, from about 4 million visitors. And so to do tourism in the city, it relies on a combination of multiple different things, from the community to private stakeholders. So it's a big process to get exactly what they're looking for in terms of tourism and what they want to offer to visitors. And so they have been able to promote Charleston as one of the premier tourist destinations in the South and in all of America too. But specifically South Carolina, because I think when you think of this state, the first thing that comes to mind is probably Charleston, because it is the most popular city, even if it's not the capital. And they mention the importance of not just selling the place, but the narrative around the place too. And it's also important to mention that when you hear a lot about Charleston, you hear about how beautiful it is and how classic it is, per se, is another way to describe it potentially. And so the way they marketed the city was as how they fought through adversity consistently and how they responded to it, and like if a building was destroyed per se, how the leaders responded to it, how strong they were, is kind of how they framed the tourism around the city and to the people. And I also found it interesting how it was referred to as the Holy City in this article, because apparently it is very religiously tolerant in its history, as the city itself contains a wide diversity over different religions and people. So really, you can kind of see how they're trying to promote Charleston as in a good light per se, and maybe that could be bad because it potentially shies away from the real problems the city had with racism and the darker side of Charleston that maybe they don't want people to know as much about, even though they probably do mention it. It's not the forefront of what they want to tell. Slavery doesn't necessarily interest people as much, so it's why cities want to shy away from that side, which isn't telling the full story, which is what I think you should have in history. The full story should be told, not just parts of it, just to make yourself look better. And tour guides in Charleston characterized urban slavery as more humane, free, and modern than the plantation slavery, which, So like with these tours, you were quick to know how many black people were freed in the city, or the black slave owner, Wigman, I think is her name, if I remember it correctly. But we don't learn about all the people who were enslaved, all the people who didn't get the same freedoms that others did. So overall, I think this is a good reading that pretty much talks about tourism and the narrative surrounding tourism and how that's framed. So the next article focuses on the wizarding world of Harry Potter in Orlando, Florida, at I think Universal, because I was actually there this past summer and it was interesting. Not my thing, but I'm not a Harry Potter fan, and I think Harry Potter fans would like it. But this site, pretty much in this article, explains how it kind of represents the fandom of Harry Potter. And it also explains how the themes from Harry Potter are carried over into the real lives of Harry Potter fans. And for them, it's not just a book, a movie. It's more than that, which I think people can say for a lot of different things they're fans of in media, movies, shows, games, etc. So there haven't been franchises, many of them, as successful as Harry Potter or as big, that have garnered such a massive fan base. It's one of those things that even if you've never seen it, you've heard about. So a big theme of Harry Potter is the discrimination, how against it the movies are, not the show. That's not coming out for a bit. Can't believe they're actually doing that. And so Harry Potter fans take that from the movies and the books, and they apply it to the real world, which is what this article is talking about, how the lessons that you learn from the movies and show can carry over to the real life. And this is interesting to talk about because, of course, J.K. Rowling is, let's just say, a controversial figure for Harry Potter fans for views on trans people, I think. And so people apply what Harry Potter is talking about and maybe go against what she's saying. So at the theme park, from what I remember, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of different rides that are supposed to take you through the scenes in the movie. Like there's this ride that takes you through a bank in the underground vault, I think. And then there's also a bunch of stores. Like at one of the stores, they sell wands, and they're pretty expensive wands, but I think they're accurate. I'm not sure, though. They also sell, like, an ale. I'm not sure what it was again. But, like, if you go there, you can see just how authentic it is to the movies, which is what I think they're going for there, of course. And it makes a lot of money. Like, that place was packed out, if I remember correctly. Oh, and how could I forget there was a big dragon that, like, roared every few minutes with, like, its big flame that was coming out. It was kind of cool. So overall, the theme park is kind of a, I guess, a front for people and their attachment to Harry Potter. And ultimately, even though the theme park itself is just for a commercial thing, for many people it's so much more than that. And that's really what Harry Potter is for people. It's more than just a book, it's more than just a movie. And it kind of represents who we want to be, or who Harry Potter fans want to be. So thank you, and see you next week.